Yeah.
Yes. And let me share my screen so I can share your questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a moment. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. So I have gone through with your all the questions, and let's discuss those questions one by one. So first question is about what are the different types of projects, correct? And you
Correct, yeah.
added one more question like how to do estimation and effort estimation. So let's keep these questions separate, and I divided this question into two parts. Let's first discuss about what are the different types of projects. Okay. So as per my understanding, as per my experience, we can divide projects into multiple ways, multiple part. Okay, and how you are going to see these projects, it's all depends on various factors, and how you are going to manage these projects, it also depends on various factors. Okay, so broadly, I divide these projects into different ways, like waterfall model and hybrid model or agile model. Okay, some projects you need to manage waterfall model, some projects you need to manage agile way, some projects you need to manage hybrid way, because every project is not suitable for managing agile way, or maybe it is not required. All the projects you cannot manage waterfall model way. So first you need to understand how you are going to managing that project and what framework methodologies you are going to use that. Okay, so this way we can categorize different types
Yeah.
of projects. Okay,
Mhm. Yeah.
second way of categorizing projects are contract type, whether it's a time and material project or it's a fixed cost project. The way you are going to managing these projects are entirely different if it is a time and material project and if it is a fixed cost project. Okay, because all these methodologies has its own some points are supplier side, some points are customer side. Okay, so again it depends you are at the supplier side or you are at the customer side. Okay, because both the ways, many a time as a project manager, sometimes you are at the supplier side, sometimes you are as a customer side. And it's if it's contract, these are the different types of contracts. It's actually you are going to manage these projects differently. Okay, then third types of categorization is product versus service. Are you going to deliver any product in your project, or are you going to deliver any service? Or this is a ticketing based system, or what you are going to deliver. Okay, the way you are going to manage these projects also depends on this criteria. So suppose if it is a product, then maybe you can use Scrum methodology. If it is a service delivery, maybe you can use Kanban. Okay, fourth way, whether it's a consultancy based project or it's an in-house project. Are you going to manage project for your own company, for your own product, or you going to manage project for somebody else and you are working as a consultant for that company? Okay. Then outsource versus in-source. Are you going to are you give this project for outsource, like somebody else is doing to work for it, or you in-source? Maybe you can hire some manpower from other company and you in-source those manpower and managing that project. Okay. Then whether it's this project is bespoke or cost product implementation or SaaS implementation, because nowadays lot many projects are SaaS implementation. For example, Salesforce project. Okay, this is already available on cloud, and you need to integrate that project with your in-house application. So the nature of that project is entirely different. Risk associated with that project is different. Requirement of that project is different. Acceptance criteria is for that project is
Okay.
different. Okay, so these
Mhm.
are the different things which you need to take care. Okay. Uh, just give me 1 minute, no? Just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
moment.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Then let's see other aspects. Product knowledge versus technical knowledge. Suppose you are going to manage that project. Okay, you are a project manager of that project. What kind of knowledge more required as a project manager? Are these projects are more technical in nature? Are technical knowledge, more depth technical knowledge required to manage that project, or more functional knowledge required to manage that project. For example, some projects are in a banking domain and a lot of banking related activities are going on. And if you are going to manage this project as a project manager, maybe product knowledge is more important in that kind of project. Okay. Then process knowledge versus tool knowledge. Many a time you might be familiar with PMP processes, you might be familiar with Agile processes, different Agile frameworks, Scrum, Agile, Kanban, XP, FDD, TDD, BDD, lot many things are there. Many a time you need to be very efficient with tools, like maybe you need expertise in Jira tools. There are lot many dashboard you need to deliver. There are lot many dimensions of data you need to capture. There are lot many project requirements are there which can be catered through Jira. If you have good knowledge of Jira, you can easily handle those things. Okay. Then we can divide limited user application versus mass user application. Are your application is going to deliver for some limited user, or only elite class of people will going to use that? Some limited class of people is going to use that, or it's a public facing website like Indian Railway Reservation System. It's a public facing website. Millions and millions of people using that application. The need, the requirement, the way of managing that project is entirely different if we compare it with a limited user application. Okay. For limited user application, example is, for example, you are going to develop website only for company executives. Okay. There are limited number of company executives there. They are going to use that. So nature of these applications, requirements, everything is, these two
Different.
applications are different. Okay. Then on-site versus inside. Are you going to manage something on-site, or you are going to working something for within company or for inside? Okay. Then domestic client versus international client. I have worked with domestic client. I have worked with government clients. Okay. I also work for multinational clients, for big banks, Santander banks, SCIs. The way you are going to manage these projects are entirely different. The expectation from customer is entirely different. The way of thinking of customer is entirely different. Okay. Then again, it's very much related to point number 11, but government or public project versus corporate project. Okay. Again, need of these projects are entirely different. Okay. Customer centric versus employee centric. Are you going to work with a company who are customer centric? Then you need to more focus, more emphasize on customer. If it is an employee centric company, then you need to more focus on your employer side. Okay. You need to take care of your employee first, compared to customer first approach. So it's all depends on which kind of environment you are working. Then single team or multiple team. Are you going to manage single team? Then in that case, you need to be proficient with Scrum. If we talks about Agile, if you are going to manage multiple teams, then you need to proficient with a skilled Agile framework, or there are multiple frameworks like less Scrum at Scrum. Lot many methodologies are there. So again, depends size of the team. Are you going to manage 10 people team, 10% team, or are you going to manage 100 people team? Okay. Then low budget versus high budget project. Many a time, if you are working on low budget process, there are many ways you need to think about how to cut the cost, how to cut the corner. Okay. If you have high budget project, then you need not worry about many small things. Okay. Then a small company versus big company. Are you going to work for a startup, or are you going to work for multinational corporation? Expectation of these two
Different.
companies, these two environment is very different. Okay. Long-term project versus short-term project. Okay. So if it is a very small term project, just a 3 months project, or something is 3 years of long project duration of project, there you need to take care of entire project life cycle in that manner. Okay. Then contractual versus full-time position. Here I'm talking about project manager position. Like maybe if some project manager is working on contractual pay, then maybe it's just a short-term project. After 6 months, you don't know where you will be. Or maybe if you are working as a full-time employee of a company, you are pretty secure about your job. Okay. So the way you are going to manage, it's also impact. Then management role versus leadership role. You are in the middle level management, or you are in the senior level management. Are you going to manage multiple, people? Lot many things are there. B2B versus B2C. Again, it's more related to mass user or limited user. Okay, but
Correct.
it's a you are working for some business or you are working for end customer. Okay, greenfield project, or it's already you joined in the middle of the project. Maybe some project you need to start from scratch, and sometime you drop in the project in the middle. Okay. So, things are already, if it is a already developed project, if it is already a working condition projects, things are pretty settled in that project. You need to understand the existing process, and you need to start managing that process. So, Apurva, I try to collect
Yeah.
all the different types
Yeah.
of,
Pro-
project which can help you to understand, because answer of this question is not very straightforward. You need to think
mm.
about with multiple dimensions.
Multiple dimension. Yeah. Just also 1 second. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a very very you just put your all aspect of knowledge and the scenario and get it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Uh,
So I have not, I just thought about it, and I
yeah.
noted down, so it will help us to discuss in this meeting.
Discuss. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Acha.
I have not copied it from anywhere. I
No,
just
no, no, no.
basis
It
on
is
my
not
basis on my experience, whatever I've learned in last 18 years, and basis on that, I clubbed all those
correct.
information
All
at one
those things.
place. Yeah.
1 second. I just want to discuss for two things here. Okay.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
to the
sure.
second one.
Hmm.
Time materials versus fixed cost project.
Fish
Okay.
cost project. Yeah.
Uh, so here, time materials project, how to estimate, cost estimate, and fixed bid cost project. So generally we go for a bottom up or top down or 3 point something.
Yeah, yeah.
But time materials, how we can estimate that cost?
Sure, sure.
Just if
So,
you.
sure, Apurva. So, it's a very big question, and it will take a lot of time to discuss
Acha,
that.
acha,
And
acha.
we will discuss it definitely,
Uh-huh.
because there are a lot many dimension about this. Whether
Uh,
if you are going in a traditional way or you are going in a agile way, the way of estimation of these two methodologies are entirely different. And we will discuss these in a very detailed manner. We will discuss every aspect.
acha, acha, ठीक
Let's
है.
quickly discuss all the question, which is very short, and we can quickly, finish it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then let's discuss one more question. What are
Mhm.
the challenges? What are the critical challenges you have faced in the project? Okay. So see, again, nature of all the projects are different. Okay. Because there are a lot many environmental factor. Customers are different, nature of projects are different, as we just discussed. Okay.
Mhm.
Then
Mhm.
environment is discussed. So broadly, if I categorize broadly different kind of challenges, then mostly scope related challenges are there. Requirements got frequent change. Many a time you don't get requirement fully,
Complete, fully.
you are not get operation from different stakeholders. People are not available for validation. People are not there for acceptance. There are a lot many challenges are there. Okay. Then communication and collaboration related challenge. If you are working for customer, I can share one example from my CBI project. People are not ready to share their requirement. People are not ready to validate their requirement, even if they shared earlier. Okay. So
Mhm.
it was a very big challenge in the government project. Okay. But many
Mhm.
a time when you do for private work for private organization, when you do for bank application, people are available. People are available on need basis whenever you required. They are actively participating in all the events, all the sprint meetings. Okay, they give their 100% time. So collaboration in such projects are very easy. Okay, then resource constraint, it's a very common problem in the
Yeah.
project.
Mm.
You started the project, people are not available, people left in between, next resources are not available.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
like they are asking for 3 months of notice period. Okay, so you already planned for 4 resources in your project, but resources are not available and you need to work with 2 resources, and your customer is asking why project is delay, why we are not able to complete our work on time, when we are going to provide a resource. So like as a project manager, we are in a sandwich situation, like from internal uh, management.
Pressure.
Yeah, from internal management we have a pressure, we are not getting full support from internal management, and we have also pressure from external, like from customer.
Custom.
Okay, then technical related challenge, like
Mm.
you maybe sometime you work with some technical challenge project, technology people is not available, or maybe integration is giving lot of trouble, integration with other technology or other project. Drivers are not available, system are not available, components are not available, you need to develop those things from scratch, which you have not planned at the earlier stage of the
Earlier.
project. Yeah,
Mm. Mm.
then risk, uncertainties, how you are
Mm.
going to manage risk, what are the different types of risk, what are the different categories of risk, you know how even if you created risk register well in advance, but you are not able to identify some of the risk, and it's happened and it's start creating problem for the success of your project. Okay, then testing and quality assurance related risk. A lot of bugs are coming in the project. Your testers are not working effectively. There are a lot many issues at production. Customer is not satisfied with the product because there are a lot many bugs. All these bugs are slipped. Okay. Project management and leadership related issues. You don't have proper support from leadership. You don't have even, like, suppose you are managing, you are a program manager, you are managing multiple projects, then maybe some of the project managers are not competent enough to manage their project themselves, and your intervention is required everywhere. There are a lot many challenges. Let me
Challenges
share.
there.
Yeah, let me share one more like list of challenges, that is especially for agile projects. Okay, just give me 1 minute, let me share my screen one more time.
Mm.
Yeah, let me share my screen. So somebody asked me question about what are the challenges we faced in agile projects. Okay, so I'm giving you some example, and I have mapped these challenges with sprint rituals or sprint events. Okay. So in daily Scrum meeting, see the challenge. Team members are not attending DSM regularly. Okay. They don't feel DSM is important. Time management, lack of time boxing. You planned this meeting for 15 minutes. People take this meeting up to 1 hour, 1 hour 45 minutes. DSM, because DSM is not a status meeting, but team members convert it into a status meeting.
Status meeting.
Yeah. Then people don't participate, stand up in a efficient way. They just don't ask, reply the question of three questions only. They discuss lot many things in daily Scrum. You know, Many a time remote communication is challenge when you deal with distributed teams are not working, Zooms are not working. We just face challenge with Zoom, remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
So these type of challenges in daily Scrum meeting. Let's see the challenge of refinement meeting. Time management, again, not lack of time boxing, lack of clarity. Things are not clear. Acceptance criteria is not clear. Definition of done is not clear. Unprioritized product backlog. Incomplete requirements. Lack of participation by team member. Team members feels, okay, this sprint refinement meeting is not their work. It's a product owner's work. But product owner alone cannot do all these things. They require support from every team members. Then there are problem with sprint planning meeting, lack of time boxing,
Mm,
setting unrealistic expectation.
mm,
Like team velocity has 50 story points per sprint, but product owner or in stakeholder thought like we will deliver 70 story point in this sprint. Okay. Scope creep, gold plating, dependency in other stories or other team, unclear prioritization, external interruption. In the middle of the sprint, they asked to change the deliverable. Okay.
mm, mm.
Then sprint review, they don't match with the requirement document. When you start a demonstration of your work, they come up with the new ideas. Okay, and they define your deliverable is not complete. Acceptance criteria is not properly defined, that they are not matching with acceptance. Even if it is clearly defined, they are not matching with the acceptance criteria and definition of done. Okay, they are matching with, I don't know with what document they are matching with. Okay, there are problem in retrospective meeting, lack of openness. Team are not participating properly in the retrospective meeting. How you are going to look for the bottlenecks or issues? Limited action items, lack of follow up. Lot many challenges as the every stage of event. I'm just mapping it with the sprint rituals. You can map it with anything, with artifacts, with
Anything.
with anything. Okay, this is just for example purpose. Yeah.
Mhm. Got it. Very, very precisely documented
Yeah,
the spinning. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I usually, help many people. So all these things are, pretty ready with me.
yeah, yeah. Because generally,
Mhm.
to do it, it's a need lot of effort for doing.
Yeah, but it's a one-time effort. Once you
Yeah,
develop this, you can share it with,
yeah,
n number of people.
yeah.
So, do you think these sessions are useful for you, and I'm able to meet your expectation?
Yeah, definitely. Because I after this session, what I
Mm.
observed now, you will be a masters in this field to demonstrate your skill. Okay, it's not like a maybe you will be author of project management. But if you document all this way, you can write a book, maybe a 1,000 page
No,
book.
no, I have already written two books. My two books
Oh,
on project management is available on Amazon KDP, and
oh,
you can read those books. Again, those books are from my real life experience, and
acha, acha.
one book is dependent on like focused on different soft skills of project manager, and one
Hmm.
book is focused on what are the different frameworks, methodologies, is so like it's useful for project managers.
Acha,
Okay.
acha, 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 acha. Okay, okay.
So yeah, it's if you have Amazon subscription, you can read those books free of cost. Okay.
Acha, okay, I will check it. Okay, okay.
Sure, sure. Okay. So let's discuss another question, that is some program management activities.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So you mentioned one question like what are the different activities you need to perform as a program
Program
manager?
management.
Okay. So, if you go through with the bookish knowledge, if you go through with the, written article,
Mhm.
lot many things are there, but, most of the things you don't use on day-to-day life basis. Okay.
Yeah.
So I observe, I'm observing my bosses from long, when I was developer, I started my career as a developer. Then I gradually moved into management. But I observe my leaders, my managers a long back. I start observing, and I just try to understand what they are doing, how they are doing. Even now I'm managing multiple projects. I observe vice president of the account. I observe, higher leadership people, what they are doing actually. Okay. And I come to the conclusion like all many a time all these bookish things which is mentioned in different books or articles, they are not doing that.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
So see, again, I have collected only 10 things, but this is basis on my observation, my experience, and my close collaboration with leadership team.
Leaders.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So whenever, first we need to understand what is program. Program is a collection of multiple projects, but similar projects. Okay. So every program has some objective, and you can meet those objective basis on alignment of multiple projects in a same direction. Okay. So this is program. Then if you are a program manager, and if some company expecting you perform a role of program manager, how you are going to manage that project, how you are going to manage that program.
Role.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the program. So first, logically divide that program into multiple projects. Okay. Maybe some projects are support projects, some projects are development projects, some projects are, ticketing system. There are n number of possibilities. Okay. So first you divide that program into multiple projects, because anyways, you are not going to manage that program in a whole. You have to divide that into multiple chunks. Okay. Then align project manager or a scrum master to every project, because see, you as a program manager, it is not possible for you to manage every project.
Every project. Yeah.
Okay, suppose there are 10 projects, it is beyond your limitation, beyond your capacity. Okay, so at least align project manager, scrum master, or tech lead to every project. So primary responsibility of managing these projects are lying with project manager and scrum master. Okay. Then identify stakeholders for each project. At least high level of stakeholders you should know as a program manager. Okay. So for example, project A, somebody is managing that project. How that A person is communicating with their counterpart at customer side. So as a
Correct.
program manager, you should know that counterpart. Okay. So prepare a high level stakeholder register. I call it master stakeholder register. This is not a proper terminology, but I give this name, master
That's
stakeholder
it.
register. Okay. So you will have list of all the stakeholders, list of all the person which is somehow connected with your projects, your different projects within the program. Okay. Then once you align project managers to your project, and I'm sure these project managers are skilled enough, knowledgeable enough to manage that project. Okay. So, alignment of these project managers are very important. If you align good project manager or good scrum master in this project, your 50% work is over.
Yeah.
Okay. Then organize and review SMR meeting. SMR meeting means senior management review meeting. Okay. So ask your project manager or scrum master to set up maybe weekly meetings if project is very new. If project is pretty stable, then you can set up uh, one meeting,
Fortnite.
yeah, fortnightly, or maybe if project is very old, then you can set up monthly meeting. Okay. And prepare a checklist, what as a program manager, what you are going to discuss in this meeting. Okay. I will share this document with you. Don't worry. You need not put
That's
it
it.
down everything. Okay.
That's
I will share. Don't worry.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's focus on content. Okay.
Mhm.
So as a, you know, every project has a different requirement, what you are going to see in that project. Okay. So prepare a customized checklist for every project, and basis on that checklist, you can give this checklist to your project manager and ask to present a status report on basis on these checklist. Maybe you can discuss top risk and issue of the project. You can also develop a master risk register for yourself, so you can monitor this risk on regular basis. Okay. Then you can also monitor different quality matrices of the project, maybe bug report, bug status, how many, what is the defect density, all those kind of matrices. Okay. Then you need to monitor cost of the project, whether a project is going under budget or it's a over budget. Okay. So I have given only three example here, but you can prepare your own
Yeah,
checklist.
many.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
There are many
From
things.
the
There are, yeah, from basis on or your experience. Okay.
Mhm.
And basis
Mhm.
on the project environment, you can
Mhm.
prepare checklist specific to the project, and every month or every week you can monitor that project. You don't require every day of your time, but at least once in a 15 days or once in a month you should manage, you should monitor. Okay. Then collect customer feedback, direct connect with your customer. Maybe you can feel, oh, I am program manager, why I am going to connect with counterpart of project manager? No, they are customer. So we need to understand how my project manager is working, how my scrum master is working. Are they meeting customer expectation or not? Is there any problem in communication, or whatever thing? When you connect with customer, when you take his or her feedback, then you only you will come to know about your customer satisfaction level.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
If your customer is satisfied, then everything is okay. If your customer is not satisfied, then maybe that person will escalate that issue. And
Correct.
yeah.
So Abhishek, is it fair that to ask customer in a written way about the feedback?
No, no, written way is not
Mm.
required. You don't require to
No.
be that, because
Mm.
that level, though, those written things is not required. Just
Yeah, but
some like once in a while, just connect with a stakeholder and try to understand how things are going.
correct, correct.
And
Yeah, yeah.
basis on that feedback, maybe you can connect with your Scrum
Team.
Master, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
or team or project manager. Okay.
Mm.
Then one of the important factor is monitor human resource requirement, because many a time team are facing resource related crunch, and as a program manager it's your responsibility to
Bring the resources.
yeah, remove that impediments.
Mm.
Because when you go to your project manager, he or she will say how he or she will going to perform, because there are not enough resources available. Okay. So once understand the problem of your scrum master, understand the problem of your project manager, and
Mhm.
remove those impediments.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Even I'm putting as a 11th number point, understand the
Pediments.
PM and SM, Scrum Master. Okay. Not only understand, you also need to remove,
Oh.
remove also.
Mm.
Okay.
Mitigate. Yeah.
Yeah. Then monitor the procurement requirement for each project. Like some team need few things, some other team need few things. You as a program manager, you need to monitor that. Okay. Then
Mm.
check the processes of project. You can again
Mm.
prepare a checklist for it. Whether how what is the way of project management in that project? Are
Mm.
they going to use Scrum? Are they going to use properly? Are they using any ALM tool or not? If not, then why they are not using? How they are capturing their data? How they are capturing different matrices? How they are working? How what is the way of their working? You should understand as a program manager, and you need to guide them wherever required. Okay. So again, prepare a checklist for every project. Okay. Then
Mm.
check the possibility of business development in that account, because in my company also, as a program manager, we need to develop that business within the account. Okay. So suppose 10 projects are already running. So you need to check the possibility how you can start two more projects in that account, how you can enhance the business of your company. Okay. You also need to monitor the status of different contracts and SOW. If any contracts are going to expire in coming period, maybe you can ask for renew, or you
Mhm.
can monitor those SOW. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
Then coach your project manager and scrum master about best practices, because as a program manager we are at the we know the processes, we know the different way of working, how we can tailor those different frameworks and methodologies, all those stuff. We can coach our project manager and scrum master in that way. how to use best practices, how to align with their uh, team way of working, you know. Then again, remove impediments. So this is what high level you need to do as a program manager.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Let's discuss few more things. One question you asked, how you start the project. Okay, how do you start the project? Start a project. So just do some brainstorming. Whenever new project come to us in the terms of requirement document or RFP or SOW, first we understand the requirement. Okay, first we understand the need of the customer. We determine the scope, what exactly we have to do in this project. What is the goal this project is going to set, how this is going to impact our customers life, what value it is going to deliver. Because you can start your project only once you understand these values, goals first. Okay, then you
Just
need,
go.
yeah, scope. So then after that you need to plan, you need to prepare for starting of the project. You can break down your goals into tasks. What are the, these are the activities you have to do as a project manager. Okay. Maybe starting of a project itself is a task, itself is a work, and you need to
Yeah.
do lot many tasks to start your
Active.
project, lot many activities to start your project. Then estimate time and resources, at least not broader level, but at least high level you need that information. Like how much time you are going to like how much time it will take to complete the project, and how much, what kind of resources is required. What are the different roles you need. You look how many software developers you required, how many software testers you required, how many business analysts you required, how many architects you required, how many UI expert required. Do you also need any DevOps professional? you know you need to understand all the
That,
resources which is required, because after understanding those resources you are going to ask these from your human resource manager or your
correct.
recruiter. Okay. And resources are not only human resource. Resources are material also, servers, laptops, desktops, sitting place, you know, lot many things we consider as a resource. So you need to estimate
All
resources,
those.
resources, and you also need time, because when we ask for resources, counter question is like how much period of time you need this resource. You need server, how long this server you need required. You required for 1 year or you required for 3 years, because cost of server for 1 year and 3 year is different.
Depend.
Yeah. Then you need to choose project management method. Are you going to use Agile, or you are going to use waterfall model? If you are going to use Agile, then what methodology are you going to use? Are you going to use Scrum, XP, Kanban, FDD, TDD, or you are going to do some tailoring? You can mix two Agile method and you can start using those. Those kind of those stuff you need to discuss at this stage. Choose that at this stage. Because in the kickoff, when you are going to deliver kickoff meeting, in the kickoff meeting you need to present all these information. Like how you are going to present, how you are going to execute your work. Okay. Then you need to identify risk, at least high level risk is required to understand, so you can start working even from day one. Even as a project manager, I consider this should be your first activity. I understand and identify the
The
various
risk.
risk. Okay. Then launch or execution work of starting of the project. You need to set up a kickoff meeting. You need to prepare a kickoff deck. You need to invite all the stakeholders, important stakeholders who will participate in kickoff meeting. Okay. And you need to start kickoff meeting in a very levish manner. You need to share all the information, like these are the manpowers and these are the different stages of alignment. This is the high level of risk which we are looking. These are the success criteria. Lot many information you need to share in kickoff meeting. You can search on Google how to prepare kickoff meeting deck. Those information you need to include in kickoff meeting. Okay. Then task management and communication. On what frequency you are going to communicate with customer? Are you going to communicate daily or weekly or fortnightly? What are the information you are going to share? You know, which stakeholders you are going to communicate, all the communication plan related stuff. Then progress, monitor the project's progress. How you are going to monitor the project progress? What are the different parameters of monitor the project progress? Huh?
Mm.
Okay. How you will
Mm.
define whether this project is success or fail? No, no,
Mm.
those parameters we need to define. Then we need to set the parameter for project evaluation. Are we going to the right direction or not? Are we are working as per requirement or not? Are we within the budget or not? Are we within the timeline or not? No, there are a lot many things which you need to work upon starting of the project. And uh, well beginning is half done. If you start project well, then rest of the things will be pretty easy for you.
Easy, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Let's discuss few more things. Cost estimate and effort estimate. Yeah, we will discuss definitely this, but we will discuss this later on. What are the project risk management techniques? So I think you must be you know studied these different risk management techniques.
Correct,
Like,
yeah.
like in PMP, there is two types of risk, like some risk
Positive.
positive and negative. And every risk management techniques for positive risk and negative risk is different. Some risks you need to avoid, some risk you need to accept, some risk you need to mitigate. If it is a positive risk, you need to explore that risk. Oh, it's the same thing, but only thing is how we are going to implement this in real scenario.
Yeah, yeah. So that, yeah, that
Mm.
got it. Mm.
Yeah. So it's again depend on, like, uh, this is again depends on risk to risk. Okay. If we talk about in Agile how we are managing risk, okay, then I can share few tips related to Agile risk management. Okay. Let me share my screen. Give me 1 minute. Yeah. So Agile, when we talks about Agile, in Agile, there is a different way of managing risk. Okay. Agile suggested risk adjusted backlog. Okay. In backlog, what happened in normal backlog, we have all the features, stories, task, bugs, everything is there in the backlog. Okay. But in Agile says you also need to add risk in the backlog. So if any risk is very important, and if it is a problem for the success of your project, team
Mm.
can start working on these risks at very early stage. Okay. How we add risk in backlog? There are some method of it. Okay. First, we need to understand different steps. Number one step is business representative or product owner or business analyst need to understand every risk in the terms of dollar. Like how much this risk is, what is the cost of this risk in terms of dollar or in terms of money. If we are not going to address this risk, how much damage of money this risk will going to give us. Okay.
Correct, yeah.
Then we need to calculate expected monetary value of each risk. Like what is the impact we can put in the terms of dollar, and risk probability in the terms of percentage. Like some risk is only chances of 50% occurrence, some risk chances are 100% occurrence. Okay. So when we multiply risk impact into risk probability, you will get expected monetary value of that risk.
Okay.
Then once we have this information for every risk,
Mm.
then we rank this risk basis on threat, issue, and expected monetary value. Okay. Then fourth step is prioritize risk response action with functional feature to get risk adjusted backlog. Okay. Let's see how we are going to do this. So for example, risk one, cost of this risk is $9,000 and probability of occurring this risk is 50%. So cost of this risk is for 4,500 US dollar. Okay. So this way you need to calculate risk of all the risk of your product backlog. Okay. Then you need to adjust those risks with your requirement. We have a single team, we have a single product backlog. So team needs to work on project functionality as well as risk at same time. So what we will do, we will prioritize this risk with requirement. So here you can see how we are going to prioritize this basis on the expected monetary value.
Cost. Yeah.
Yeah, cost. So
Cost.
requirement one is 5,000. We have put this as a top priority.
Mhm.
Then we have risk two. Cost of this is 4,000. And this is important. That's why we put this in a second position. Because in backlog, we put high priority, high value item at first. Okay. So this way you are going to prepare risk adjusted backlog, and in the upcoming sprint, development team and testing team will pick those risks first, and they will add those risks in sprint goal, in sprint backlog, and they start working on it. So this is agile way of handling managing risk.
Risks. Yeah.
Yeah, you can also calculate risk severity. Like you can multiply risk probability into risk impact. Here you are not going to here for expected monetary value we took percentage as a parameter for risk probability. Here you will not take percentage. Here you will take rank
Right.
for
Severity.
severity. Okay, you will
Mhm.
rank that in 1 to 3, and when you multiply this, then your risk severity will come out. Okay, so this is agile way of working, and this is 100% applicable on real life scenario. This is not just a bookish language. I have even used it in my projects.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Let me handle a next question. Just a moment. So we discussed risk management technique. How do maintain quality of the project? Okay. So quality of the, maintenance of quality of the project is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. In Agile, it is very simple. You need not worry about quality of the project in Agile projects, because in Agile project, quality checks at multiple level. Okay. At developmental level, if you practicing pair programming, another person is sitting behind developer, and he or she also checks that piece of code side by side, and if there is any quality issue, then and there they rectify that code. Second level is unit testing level. So whenever developer finish their development work, just after development work they do unit testing, and they again find out some issues, and then and there they rectify it. Then third level is a testing, like when we talk about test driven development. Okay. In test driven development, what happened? First we write test script, then we write development code. Once we write code just to meet that testing requirements. Okay. So there is a very less chances of a bug occurrence. Fourth level, we do integration
Uh,
testing. Yeah.
So 1 second here, Abhishek. Okay, this was one of the conflict in the team. In previous, I have seen that. So
Hmm.
tester are not able to write the test cases until they are getting the code for testing. So
No,
there is a
no.
huge argument on that.
No, no, maybe you might be gone through with that issue, but if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
if you discuss test driven development, let me share one more slide with you. Give me just 1 minute.
We can tell them. Yeah, that's a
Hmm.
concept. I'm just yeah. We can
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, sure. And test driven development is very popular nowadays, and
now it is
people
not.
are yeah, yeah, people are using it in your project on regular basis. Okay. Let me open TDD.
So that means that from the requirement document, tester can start to writing the test cases.
Yes, definitely. See,
Yeah.
earlier what happened? Earlier people, testers, what testers think, it is the responsibility of developer to understand the requirement. First, they understand the requirement. First, they develop the requirement.
Mm.
Once they develop, then as a tester, they will understand later on and they will, test the code. Okay.
Yeah.
But now this approach it's not aligned with the Agile. Okay. Agile talks about test-driven development process. What happened in test-driven development? Testers also need to understand that requirement. Testers also need to understand that story. Okay, along with developer. Then testers need to write test cases first, even if you don't written a single line of development code. First,
Mhm.
testers need to write that test cases, then run the test cases because there is no any development, there is no any deliverable. So test will get failed. Okay. Then developer will write a code to meet that test case, to meet that test requirement. Okay. This time that piece of code will pass that test because now developer has written code in such a manner so it's meet that testing criteria.
Mm.
Okay. This way we do entire development. First we write test cases, test scenario, test script. Then we write a development code for deliverables. Okay. This way entire process go. And at the end we do refactoring of the code. So if that way you are going to do this, then you will not face any kind of problem. Okay.
Sure,
Let,
sure.
let, let, let me show you one more image. It will give you a
Mm.
little more idea about how we are improving quality in Agile projects. I'm a big fan of Agile. That's why I'm,
Yeah.
discussing Agile and Agile uh, multiple times. Just a moment. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
I can see.
So
Mm.
here you can see how quality related issue can be resolved in uh, Agile projects. So if you are doing pair programming, you can resolve issue in minutes. If you are doing unit testing, because all these practices recommended by Agile. Okay. If you are doing unit testing, there will be issues which we can resolve in hours. If you are doing a stand-up meeting, we can identify those issues, dependencies, risk within a day, and we can, rectify it. Acceptance testing, we rectify in weeks. So this way, if we do Agile, if we collect our feedback on every stage of the development, then I think there will be a less chance of defects in the project.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me share question again. So how do you maintain the quality? It is answered now. So I think only one question left. That is, yeah, one more question left. Project management good practices. So only simple answer, project management good practices you will find everywhere. Just follow agile principles rigorously. And, there is a like answer of every problem in agile.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just follow it
Mhm.
rigorously and you
Mm.
will not find any difficulty. It's a very good project management practice. But you need to understand agile better way.
Yeah.
Like many a time people claim they know agile, but they don't know agile in a better way, or
Yeah. But what
they
is the?
know, yeah, that what is the crust behind it, what it's a half cooked, it's not a half cooked food. If you eat half cooked food, then it will be a problem. You need to understand what is the reason behind it, why this is these are the practices defined, what is the advantage of these practices. If we don't if uh, we know we do modification, if we do some tailoring of the processes, then we need to understand the reason behind it. Otherwise, it will create problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also. what I feel and observe that in
Hmm.
Agile, everyone need to know that exactly what is his or her role for this process, and they need to fulfill.
Correct,
So
correct,
if it
correct.
is that, then probably the project will get more easier success.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct, correct, correct. Yeah. Okay, let's discuss one more question. Conflict management techniques and example. Mm, see, this I can say it's more about common sense, how you are going to manage this conflict. Okay. How you are going to identify conflict. Okay. But give me 1 minute. Let me share one slide with you. It will give you some idea about that. Okay. Let me bring out that slide for you. Let me share my screen again. Yes. Can you see my screen,
Yeah, I can
Purva?
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very, little lot many information on this slide, but I want to keep everything on one slide so we can compare. Okay. So there are multiple level of conflict. You need to understand what is the level of conflict, at what stage this conflict is going on. Okay.
Mhm,
Level one is very, simple conflict. It's just a problem to solve. Okay. It's a problem related to information sharing and collaboration. How you are going to identify that conflict level? Like it's a open and fact-based issue.
mhm, mhm,
Okay. So people usually have different opinion and sometimes they misunderstood also. And sometimes it's impact their conflicting goals and values. So atmosphere is not comfortable, but it's not emotionally charged. Okay, you can
mhm,
easily manage these kind of conflicts. What you
mhm,
need to do, you need to construct collaborative scenario among different parties, and you need to provide them opportunity to collaborate and communicate.
mhm, mhm,
Okay. Second type of conflict is level two conflict. It's a kind of disagreement. How you are going to identify that? It's a self-protecting protection among different parties, and team members usually distance themselves from debate. They don't want to discuss things. They thought if we discuss, it will become worse. Okay, so you need to empower the relevant team members to solve the problem. You need to facilitate them as a project manager. Okay, then third level of conflict is a contest, and its aim is to win the battle, win the fight. People take side and blame each other.
mhm,
Little bit emotion is involved at this level.
mhm,
We need to accommodate the people with their different opinion. We need to respect everybody's opinion. Okay,
mhm,
and
mhm,
start working toward that direction. Then fourth level is critical. It's very emotional charged, and resolving the situation is not good enough. Team members believe that why why is that person is there, why not they change and need, why not they change their things, their opinion, and they also want, like, this person should not be a part of team. At this level you need some diplomacy, because without diplomacy you cannot resolve this kind of issue, this kind of conflict. You make lot of effort to deal with this kind of situation, and you cannot resolve it fully. Maybe you can take this down to level 2. Okay,
mhm,
then last level of conflict is world war, you can say, or you cannot resolve this kind of conflict because people want to destroy their counterpart. Okay, these kind of issue is a lot of emotionally charged, and you cannot solve this kind of conflicts. It is very difficult. You need to live with this kind of conflicts. Okay, so it's better at the early of the stage you identify the conflict and start working on that. Okay.
got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is nicely categorized, Abhishek. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, so I think we have discussed all the questions except estimation. Okay, let's
Yeah.
see how to do cost estimation and effort estimation. Okay, let me share you more information. Yeah, so now you are going to see lot many information because lot many things are related to estimation. Okay, so number one,
Mhm.
when you are going to do estimation in traditional project, the way of estimation is different. And when you are going to do estimation in Agile, the way of estimation is different. Okay, so first we will see how we are doing estimation in traditional project. Okay, first you need to understand the nature of the project.
Mhm.
In traditional project, what happened? Let me show you one, one PPT. Give me just 1 minute. Yes, this is why what I wanted to show you. So first you need to understand the nature of Agile project and traditional project. In traditional project, what happened? Your scope is fixed in traditional project, but your budget and duration is variable, flexible. You can change your project budget and project duration. Okay, but you cannot change scope of your project. If there are 100 features, you need to work on those 100 features, whether if you meet that project budget or not. But Agile project is not like that. Agile project is
Mhm.
completely opposite. In Agile project, your project budget is defined, your project duration is defined, and you can play with project scope. You can ask your customer, okay, boss, we will work for you within this budget and duration, but you need to say what are the things, high priority things for you, and what are the delivers which you need first. Once we left money with us, we left time with us, then we will work on less priority work, less priority
Mhm.
things. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
this way Agile project works. Same when you do estimation, that's why there is a difference in estimation also. Okay. Let go back to this. In traditional project, you need to do estimation for everything, every small thing is small work, because in traditional project we do estimation upfront before the starting of the work. In Agile, you do estimation side by side, like you do estimation only for small chunks of work, like for one sprint duration you do estimation and you start working on it, you complete, then you start again do estimation for next sprint. Okay, let's see how we do in then let's see who is the responsibility for estimation requirement and all those stuff. Let's see only estimation part, because here we are discussing estimation only. So project manager is the responsible person for estimation and sizing. Maybe project manager can take help from core team members, but
Mhm.
project manager is the ultimate responsible person for estimation. But in Agile, Scrum Master is not responsible for estimation and sizing. Team is responsible for estimation and sizing.
Yeah.
Entire team sit together. They estimate. They do sizing. They do estimate, and they do relative estimation. They don't do accurate estimation. Okay, they do estimation in terms of story points.
Rough estimation.
Yeah,
Little bit of rough.
yeah. Then you also need to understand there is a impact of types of contract in estimation, because how you are going to do estimation, it's also there is a some impact of type of contract. So in traditional project management, we usually have three types of contracts: fixed price contract, cost reimbursable contract, and time and material contract.
Mhm.
But in Agile project, we have a different types of contract, like change for free, money for nothing, graduated fixed price contract, fixed price work package, DSDM. These are the different types of contracts are there. Okay.
So 1 second, obviously. So what is the DSDM?
DSDM is it's a type of framework.
just a online, what is that? Just if you give me some idea on that.
It's a
Please.
dynamic system development life cycle, I say.
अच्छा ठीक है. Okay, I will
Okay.
check it. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
check it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's see how we do estimation in traditional project management. Okay. So for estimation, first you need to define the scope of the work. Because until and unless you don't define the scope of the work, you are not going to do estimation. Okay. So first stage is prepare a scope management plan. So these are the
Mhm.
processes, and I have extracted this information from PM Box 6.
Mhm.
Although PM Box 7 is the newest edition, but I feel PM Box 6 is still relevant and lot many information we can utilize. Okay.
Yeah, PM Box 7 is, what I feel that PM Box
Mhm.
7, many of the things are not, we cannot implement in the real time. That is my
Yes.
observation. It's not
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. You are right. Also, totally agree with you. That's why I extracted this information from PM Box 6, because I still feel PM Box 6 is very much relevant and you can implement those ideas in real life scenarios. Okay. But PM Box 6, I think it was very lengthy. It is very difficult to digest. Many people don't, able to digest. That's why PMI changed that. And they changed
Yeah.
entirely. Okay. So first planning process is you need to define the scope. You need to plan the scope management, like you are going to define, validate, and control your scope. This is just a planning thing, just a documentation part, just for guidance purpose. Okay. So we
Mhm.
can live this part. Real story starts from here. Requirement documentation. So first you need to collect requirement. You need to collect business requirement, stakeholder requirement, functional requirement, non-functional requirement, quality requirement, every kind of requirement you need to collect. Okay.
Mhm.
But since you are collecting these requirements, this doesn't mean you have to work on all these requirement. Okay, you are just collecting requirement as much as possible. You are connecting with different stakeholders and you are gathering a requirement from all the stakeholders. Okay, you also need to prepare requirement traceability metrics. And in this document, you need to link
All
uh,
these requirements.
yeah, all these requirement from source, from origin to deliverables. What are
Mhm.
the different phases? What are the touch point of these requirements? Okay, so you will have entire picture of a particular requirement. Then you will create a scope statement. In a scope statement, you again, basis on requirement document, you create a scope statement. In a scope statement, you create project scope description, project deliverables, what are the acceptance criteria of these deliverables, what are the project exclusions you also need to define. Okay. Then you need to discuss with your customer and you need to take approval. Once you take
Mhm.
approval on your project scope statement, then it's become a scope baseline. This is your Gita, Quran, Bible. Okay, your project will run on this.
Scope baseline, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
We again drill down this. We again decompose this, and we create WBS work
WS.
package
Mhm.
and WBS dictionary.
Mhm.
Now things are ready for estimation. Without WBS, you cannot do estimation. Okay. I discuss all these things because we need a WBS at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then let's do. There is two type of estimation. One is schedule estimation and cost estimation. To to define cost, we also need to define schedule. Okay. So what we do, we prepare a activity list, we prepare activity attributes, we create milestone list. Everything we create basis on WBS, whatever WBS we have developed in a scope statement. Okay, basis on that WBS. Then we also define duration estimate, how much time it's required. Okay, what is the relationship between two activity? You must be heard about precedence diagramming methods, like relationship between two activity, like finish to start, finish to finish, start to start, start to finish. All these things you need to set up. Then you need to define a duration estimate, then basis of estimate, on what basis you are going to do estimate. Then there are different tools and techniques: analogous estimation, parametric estimation, 3-point estimates, bottom up estimates. Then you need to create schedule baseline. Again, this is important because basis on this, we can define whether our project is on time or behind schedule. Okay. Once you develop your schedule, then you can start working on cost estimation. Again, you need to put WBS and other stuff as input, and you will prepare a cost estimation. You will use again same tools you are going to use: analogous estimation, parametric estimation, 3-point estimation, and bottom up estimation. Any one of you can use, or maybe combination of tools you can use. And basis on these information, you will create cost baseline. Cost baseline is again, basis on this cost baseline, you will define a progress of your project, whether you are behind a cost, behind budget, or you are ahead the cost. You know,
Yeah. Mhm.
this way you do estimation
Mhm.
in traditional project management.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, let's see
Mhm.
how we do estimation in Agile.
Mhm.
Okay, give me 1 minute. Okay, so in Agile, we do estimation at various level. First, we need
Mhm.
to understand, because estimation is a part of planning in Agile. Okay.
Mhm.
So first we need to understand what are the different level of planning in Agile. So there are four level of planning in Agile. In somewhere you will read 5 levels, but mostly we will discuss about 4 levels of Agile planning. So at high level, it's a project level planning, then release level planning, then iteration and sprint level of planning, then daily planning. Okay. So estimate, we do estimation in all the three stages. First, at very high stage, we we do estimation in terms of t-shirt sizing. Okay. In t-shirt sizing, what happened? Because at this level, things are not clearly defined, things are not understood by everyone, but high level deliverables are in mind of everyone. So we do t-shirt sizing, like whether it's a large or medium or XXL, these kind of sizing we do. And it's a relative sizing. It's not the accurate sizing because we don't know who is going to develop what feature and who is going to work on what deliverables. That's why
Mhm.
we do relative sizing. You cannot
Mhm.
directly map this t-shirt to man
Mhm.
months or man days. It's just a relative sizing just for representation purpose, whether this work is big or small or medium. Okay. Then we do release planning. Release planning again, we can define, we can do estimation at little granular level. Okay. But main estimation we do at sprint planning level or is iteration planning level. Okay. In iteration planning level, we define work in terms of stories, because by that time we have more clarity about the work. By that time we know a lot many things about the work. We already defined a story. We already defined acceptance criteria, definition of done, all those stuff. So by that
Mhm.
time we will have lot many information available. And by that time we define a story in terms of we estimate in terms of stories. Okay.
Mhm.
Which is more precise, but again it's a relative sizing. It's not, we cannot map these story with man days or man hours, because this is not the right way of doing things. So this is what way we do estimation in Agile projects. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Apurva, I think I have covered most of the things. I think I have covered all the doubts. Do you have any other questions to discuss?
No, not instrument. It's very informative and categorized information you have presented. Really, if I say you thanks, that is not enough. Okay, I know how much days effort and thinking power needed to make it in a frame. Okay. So really,
Yeah, yeah,
really,
yeah. So
yeah,
this is my, this is my profession. This is my work also. Like I usually train people to learn project management. I train people to earn PMP and PMI-ACP certification. So I share all these information on regular basis. That's why all these information are available with me in a structured format.
yeah, yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to know, or do you have any question in your mind?
Um, Not in this moment, Abhishek. Uh, if suddenly something will come to my mind,
Yeah, yeah,
probably
yeah.
I
So
can,
I'm
I
open.
can.
I'm open for these questions every time. I'm open. You can discuss, share your thoughts, your questions anytime.
Mm,
And same way we can connect over the weekend because I
correct,
usually free in evening time in weekends, and we
mm,
can discuss this further. Okay.
correct, correct.
Let
Yeah. Okay.
let me stop recordings.